Stamped completed one, we're going to put it in
the weight loss if need to be.
But really throughout the rehearsals, you get a closer look.
Hello everyone and welcome to The Focus Show. This is your host, Ali Alexander, and here we have Janelle Spitz, who was recognized as the Principal of the Year by Virginia Librarian Association. So Janelle, how does it feel earning the Librarian Award?
It was quite an honor. This is an award that is given to one principal, I should say, out of all the principals in the state of Virginia. So to be recognized for such a prestigious award from such a hardworking group of people was quite an honor this year, and quite a nice surprise as well.
What encouraged you to continue this career?
As an educator, I love working with kids, and I think that's first and foremost what it's about. I'm passionate about students and about the opportunities that we have for students. For example, the opportunities here today, seeing a student-run show is very exciting, and I look for ways to incorporate that into our school every day and to give our students as many opportunities. So when I don't see that anymore is when I will decide that the career is no longer for me, but I still see that, and that's why I choose to do this career.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
What goals have you pursued before today?
Really, I'm not sure exactly where you want to go with that question. So what I look at is just ways that we can make our school better every day for our students. So for example, I'll take the Makerspace that really is associated with this Librarian Award. Our librarian, Patty Lambusta, came to me and had this idea for Makerspace. It's a very new and upcoming thing in libraries across the United States, actually, probably across the world, but I just know about the United States in our library. And she wanted to do it here in our library. And I'm always looking for innovative and creative things to do with our students and our staff, our school. And I told her, go ahead and see what we can do here. A Makerspace is the idea that students come together and they create, they can play games, and it sounds so simple in theory, but it is actually very different. And at first I thought, who's gonna come and play with a bunch of blocks, or who wants to just come and code or do arts and crafts? But it's amazing. The kids come and they spend their lunch times down there. They want to come during class. They stay after school to work on projects, and they have a lot of fun, and it's really created a culture of learning and exploration in the school. So I would say looking for innovative things are the kind of goals that I pursue for our school, and that Makerspace is just one of those.
That sounds so fun, honestly.
It really is fun. It's very therapeutic and relaxing as well. I enjoy going down there myself and getting into a game with some of the students, and especially when I can actually beat them sometimes.
How long have you worked for the award?
Actually, I didn't even realize I was working for it. It's something that is done once a year. I found this out afterwards, and my librarian nominated me and had some other people write some references, which again I found out later. I received copies of them, and I have to say they were just beautiful. I was so grateful and so honored. Beautiful letters, and then I found out once I was recognized and given the award. So it's not something I worked for, it's just something I did my job and then was recognized for, which I think is the best way to go about getting something.
Any reason you pursue this career?
I think going back to just that original question that you asked me, it's about the students and it's about the potential for students. And there's something different every day going on in the school. Everything from the Makerspace to what I see when I go into classrooms, the student learning, the digital opportunities for students now with technology. But then again, going right on back to even the non-digital lessons that we do in the learning. And I have fun with students. Even on our worst days, I enjoy talking with students and hearing what's going on in their lives. And I think they keep me young. Maybe not as young as I'd like to be, but they keep me young and they keep me on my toes, and I have fun with them. So that's why I didn't realize that's why I was pursuing the career. I pursued it because I thought I was going to change the world, but actually it's a world that has changed me, and that's why I love it so much.
That's really cute. Anything you would like to add?
I would say that if you're If your library hasn't had an opportunity to have a makerspace in it, it's something that I would definitely encourage looking into. The idea that a library makerspace has to be big and expensive and full of technology is not true. It can be something as simple as a couple of board games. It can be arts and crafts material that you just ask for volunteers to bring in leftover stuff that they have around their house. And it can be something that's very expensive that has all the latest gadgets, but it's wherever your school can be on the spectrum that's available for your students to come in and just relax and communicate with each other. And it's all those skills that we want students to have in terms of communicating with each other and just playing and having a good time. There's not enough of that strategizing and skill seeking going on today in the world. And I'm always so surprised when I ask students, what games do you play at home, or what games did you like as a kid? And they don't, other than video games, there's no answers. I'm like, you didn't play Yahtzee, you didn't play Sorry, you didn't play Trouble, and no, not really. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and I think sometimes they're just kidding me because they're trying to pretend that they don't know the game so they can beat me, but that's okay. We've had some good competitions in there.
That's fun.
Yes.
Thank you for discussing with us, Janelle Spitz. Tune in for more discussions after this commercial break. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Ali Alexander, and this is our visitor, Janelle Spitz. So, how did you start your career?
I won't even mention the year, it was a long time ago. And I actually went into education later than most people. A lot of people go in right after college. I was what's known as a career switcher. So I had a career before going into education, but I always wanted to be a teacher. So I went to a job fair, and I was very fortunate to be interviewed by Carol Lambiot, who is now a retired principal. And she didn't hire me at that fair. She told me, you have no experience, I can't hire you right now. But she called me in August when she needed a teacher. And I went in and became an English teacher that year and have never looked back. I love the position and I love the job. So I went from an English teacher to an assistant principal to a principal. And it seems like just yesterday in some cases that happened. Mm-hmm.
How does the accomplishment of development of a makerspace affected your career?
I don't know that I'd say it's affected my career other than, of course, the award was a very nice honor and has given, I've had a lot of people congratulate me on it, which is very kind of them. I think it's just an opportunity to interact more with students at the school. We're also planning to have a makerspace night for our families to get more community members in and more family members in to just sit down and play games. So, and again, when you're playing games or you're making something with someone, it allows for a natural conversation to happen that you wouldn't have, say, if I was helping you solve a math problem. That's not going to be a relaxing conversation probably. But if we're sitting there and we're playing a game of Connect 4, that might be a different kind of conversation that we get to know each other a little better.
I see.
Yes.
How does the, does the award explain your career?
Does the award explain my career?
Or expand your career?
Expand my career. No, I think I maybe just thought about that with the last question a little bit. So I don't know that it expands my career. It just makes me want to do more things in our library and with our students. I talk a lot about the library. Obviously, this is a librarian award, but the library for our school is really the hub of the school. And so we like to do a lot of things in there with our students. Whenever there's something going on, we're always looking to use the library space for that. And so that it just makes me want to look at what else can we add to it? How else can we use the space? How can we get more students down here and involved and want to be part of this? I've played and had fun with some of the students who I think if they saw me in the halls, they would be like, I don't want to talk to you today. You know, you are nothing to me. But when we get in front of the game board and we're playing a game, it's a totally different atmosphere in there. And I'm competitive, they're competitive, and we're all just having a good time together.
So I know it's probably not a question they probably know, but like,
Yeah.
what school do you work for?
Oh, I'm sorry. I work for Passage Middle School, best middle school out there. Very
guess.
proud principal of Passage. I have been there since 2010 as the principal of Passage, which has really afforded me a time to grow with the school and with the students there.
Let's see.
Yes.
So final question.
Yes.
What are the opportunities you have partake in order to succeed in your career?
Oh gosh, what other opportunities did you say, or what opportunities?
What opportunities?
What opportunities? Always reading, seeing what has changed out there. When you've been in education as long as I have, which is about 20 years, I can't believe that. I want to stay abreast of what's current, what the research is saying about student development, about brain development. The whole idea, again, of the Makerspace and why play is so important for students is something new. It's not something that we would have maybe read about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. People probably thought we were crazy. So I like to stay abreast of what's new, take classes. I would say really just keep educating myself and being a learner myself so I can model that for my students. You never stop learning.
Would you like to add anything?
No, I will say that you're invited anytime you want to stop by
Thank you so much.
Passage, and we'll be happy to show you our Makerspace and even show you some of the games and activities we have going on. There's more than games, but I really get into the games,
Games,
so
okay.
that's why I'm pushing the games.
I'm gonna try to beat you at one of your games.
Oh, you can try. You can try.
Oh, try. No. All right, that's it for today's show. Thank you, Janelle Spitz, for visiting us.
Thank you.
And continue doing an outstanding job. And thank you, everyone, for watching, and have an amazing day. Take care.
And completed one, we are going to put it in our
The weight loss if you need to be.
But really throughout the rehearsals, you get a closer look